Okay, next we're gonna sew the back and the two front panels together at the shoulder seam here. Okay, I already sew one side here, and next I'm gonna show you how to sew this side. Okay, so it's very big project. I just want to show you in the paper here so you can see what's going on right now. Okay, so this is my back panel, and this paper is my back panel, and this is my front panel, and this one is my front panel that I haven't sewn yet, and this is the other front panel, which is this one already sewn here. Okay, we're gonna sew this together at the shoulder seam, and we're gonna use the long tail that we left earlier for sewing. So yeah, see here, I already sew here, but I just need to weave this end. Okay, all right. So remember, when I make the front panel, I have 18 stitches. So I count the back panel from this corner, count until I have 18 stitches, and then place the stitch marker into the 18th stitch. Okay, 18 here, the front panel, and then 18 there, the back panel. We're gonna sew those 18 stitches together. And make sure to place your panels wrong side facing up. We're gonna sew on the wrong side. And yeah, I bring my yarn needle here. I insert that tail into my yarn needle. This is the tail that I left earlier. And you can use any method you prefer for sewing. I'm just gonna sew back and forth, very easy. So my tail is come from the front panel. I'm gonna insert my yarn needle into the first stitch of the back panel here. Just both loop like that, and bring it out. And then I'm gonna insert into the first stitch of the front panel and then the back panel together one more time, just to lock the yarn. So this is the first stitch, and then this is the first stitch. And then move on to the next stitch. This next stitch of the front panel, and then next stitch of the back panel there. Both loops, okay? And the next stitch of the front panel here, both loop, and then next stitch of the back panel there, both loop, like that. And the next stitch of the front panel, next stitch of the back panel, like that, and bring it out. This is what I'm gonna sew back and forth. So yeah, move on to the next stitch, front panel, next stitch, back panel, just like that. I just gonna keep sewing back and forth until I reach the stitch marker here. Make sure don't sew it too tight or too loose. Okay, I show you a couple more stitches. So next stitch here, the front panel, and next stitch there, the back panel, and bring it out. Next stitch of the front panel here, next stitch of the back panel there, and then bring it out like that. Okay, very easy. And again, you can use any method you prefer. So this is the wrong side, and this is the right side. Okay, I'm gonna keep sewing until I reach the stitch marker here. Okay, this is gonna be the last stitch here, right into that stitch marker. The front panel and then the back panel there. And then I'm just gonna remove the stitch marker. And we're done. We just need to weave the end and maybe tie a couple knots. Just hide my tail. Maybe tie a knot. And then keep hiding my tail. Okay, make sure it's secure, and then you trim the tail and you're done. And then both sides sew exactly the same. Okay, whatever method you use, make sure you use the same method on both sides. And then next we're gonna sew the sleeve into this main panel. Okay, after we sew the shoulder seam, and then next we're gonna sew the sleeve into the main panel. Okay, again I'm gonna show you in the papers real quick so you know what's going on. So this is my back panel, this one, okay, and this is my front panel, this one. We already sewed the shoulder here, right? And then the other front panel, which is this one right here, and we also sew the shoulder here already, okay. And then this is my sleeve, which is this one. I lay them like this, okay. And we're gonna sew the sleeve into the main panel, which is sew to the back and the front panel here, and make sure it's even on both sides, both panel. Okay, here's what this look like right now. And then let me show you the sleeve here. So remember when I make the sleeve, I have 32 stitches, so I'm gonna separate it in half. Okay, so I have 16 stitches here, the blue markers, and then 16 stitches here, the orange markers. So yeah, I placed the 16 stitches, the blue marker here, and then I count the row on the back panel, 16 rows, and then I place the stitch marker there. So I'm gonna sew 16 rows on the back panel into 16 stitches of the sleeve panel right here. And then I do the same on the other side. I have 16 stitches on my sleeve, and then I count the row. I have 16 rows of my front panels, and then I place them together, and then I'm gonna sew those 16 rows and 16 stitches together like that. And I just want to let you know it's not that important if you cannot count the rows or you miss count. But all important thing is make sure both sides is even, and make sure it's not, you're not sew too tight or too loose. Okay, and then I'm gonna show you how I count my stitches. A little difficult to see these stitches, but like I say, it's not that important. Just make sure both sides is even. So you see this here, this seam here is where we sew the shoulder seam, right? And then the row next to it, that I count that one, first row. So I place this stitch marker. Now I'm talking about the front, the back panel first. So this row 1, okay, and then this row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. See, I placed the stitch marker into the row 16th. Okay, do the same on the other side. You count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. I place the stitch marker into the row 16th. Okay, let's get sewing. And I'm gonna use the long tail that I left earlier to sew, and you can use any method you prefer, and make sure to turn all your panels wrong side facing up. We're gonna sew on the wrong side. Okay, so to start sew, I'm gonna remove this stitch marker first and remember that stitch. Okay, we're gonna insert the needle into that stitch that we're gonna remove this stitch marker. So right here. Okay, my yarn is come from the sleeve panel. I'm gonna insert into that stitch that I just removed this stitch marker. Like that, and then pull it out. I just gonna sew back and forth, nothing fancy. And then I'm gonna insert into the same stitch of the sleeve panel and in the back panel one more time just to lock the yarn. So this stitch and then this stitch. And then move on to the next stitch. Move on to the next stitch. There, like that. Move on to the next stitch here and the next stitch there. For the back panel and the front panel, it's difficult to see the normal stitches. So yeah, just guess where you're gonna insert your needle into, but just make sure all even. That's all important. Alright, so yeah, I move on to the next stitch here and the next stitch there. And then next stitch here and then next stitch there. Next stitch here and then next stitch there. Next stitch here and the next stitch there. Next stitch here and next stitch there. Like that. Next stitch here and next stitch there. Here's what it looks like so far. I'm just gonna keep sewing back and forth. And when I reach the blue stitch marker here, I make sure I'm gonna insert the needle into the blue stitch marker from the sleeve and also go to the same blue stitch marker into the back panel. Okay, alright, so yeah, this is the wrong side and this is the right side. Okay, make sure you don't sew it too tight or too loose. I'm just gonna keep sewing back and forth until I reach the end here, and I will be back. Take your time. Okay, now I sew until I reach the end here, and here is what it looks like. And I already removed that stitch marker. And next, you're just gonna weave the end and make sure it's secure and trim the tail, and you're done with the sleeve. And also, you're gonna sew exactly the same on the other side and use the same method that you use for this side. Okay, I'm pretty sure you know how to weave the end, so I'm not gonna show you that. And yeah, just go ahead and sew the other side and then I will be back. Okay, next we're gonna sew the sweater together. We're gonna sew the side seam and then the sleeve at the bottom. Okay, and again I'm gonna show you in the paper first. So here is my back panel and here is my two front panels and then the sleeve panels. We already sew here and we already sew here, right? And then after that, I want you to fold your sweater in half with the right side facing each other. And we're gonna sew on the wrong side, okay? Just fold it in half like this. And we're gonna sew on the wrong side. We're gonna start sew at the bottom here on the side seam until we reach the armpit. And then after that, we're gonna continue sew the sleeve at the bottom here all the way down until we reach the end of the sleeve. Both sides sew exactly the same. But right now, my sweater lay this side, so I can show you how to sew on the side seam. Okay, this is what my sweater look like right now. I lay on this side, and yeah, let's get sewing. And before we sew, we're gonna cut a new strand of yarn enough to sew the side seam and then the sleeve. I cut about 60 to 70 inches long Like I said, just make sure it's enough, okay? And I always like to have extra, always. And you can use any method you prefer for sewing. For me, I just gonna sew back and forth, very easy. Okay, so yeah, I have my new strand of yarn and then the yarn needle ready to go. I'm gonna insert my yarn needle into the first stitch of the front panel here, right at the corner, and then insert into the first stitch of the back panel, right at the corner there. And then pull it out. A little difficult because I have a very long tail here. Okay, and then I insert into the next stitch of the front panel here and then next stitch of the back panel there. And then pull it out. And then insert into the next stitch of the front panel here and the next stitch of the back panel there. And pull it out. This is what I'm gonna sew for my side seam, okay? You can use any method you prefer, like I said. Move on to the next stitch here, next stitch there, and then pull it out. And move on to the next stitch of the front panel here, and then next stitch of the back panel there. Like that. And this is difficult to see the normal stitches. Just be careful. Whatever you do, just make sure you will sew both sides evenly. Okay, make sure it's lining up. That's all important. And don't sew it too tight or too loose. You just kind of guess where you're gonna insert your needle into. But yeah, just be patient, take your time. Okay, see, I don't see the normal stitches, but I just guess where I'm gonna insert my needle into. I check as I go. Okay, just check your project as you go. Okay, so I just gonna keep sewing all the way up until I reach the armpit here. And when you reach the armpit, make sure the corner of the armpit, the back and the front here is lining up. Alright, make sure it's even. And then after that, you're gonna continue sew the sleeve. Sew exactly the same on the side seam. Continue sew the sleeve all the way down until you reach the end of the sleeve. And I will be back. Okay, just take your time. Like I said, be patient. Check your project as you go. Make sure it's lining up. Don't sew too tight or too loose. Alright, and I will be back. Good luck. Okay, now I sew until I reach the end of the sleeve here. And then next, you're just gonna weave the end. That's it. Okay, here's what it looks like on the wrong side. This is the sleeve. And here is the armpit. And here is the side seam. Okay, this is on the wrong side. And this is on the right side. Here's the body. Okay, and yeah, just weave the ends. And then next, we're gonna sew the pockets, the inside pockets. Let me turn my sweater here. Okay, for the pocket, we're gonna sew exactly the same. I already sew one side here. Also, we're gonna sew on the wrong side. Okay, this sweater still wrong side out. Okay, and here is the wrong side after I sew my pocket, and here is the right side, as you can see here. It's really nice. And next, I'm gonna show you how to sew on this side. I already placed my stitch marker here. I just gonna remove just to show you. See here? Here is the space that we left is open. For the pocket, we just need to place our pocket panel on top of that hole. Okay, make sure it's covered that space. Just a little bit, not too much. So I just gonna cover around here. And then gonna be like this. See here? Here's the right side. Okay. You don't have to place the stitch marker if you don't want to. I just like to make sure my pocket is nice and even. Okay, and we're gonna use the long tail that we left earlier for sewing. We're gonna sew all around this pocket, and you can use any method you prefer, but when we sew, we're not gonna sew through outside like that. We're just gonna sew to the stitch like this, okay, because we don't want to look bad on the right side. Okay, I'm gonna start sew here. I'm gonna insert my needle there, and then I'm just gonna remove this stitch marker. Okay, I'm gonna sew this way first, and then I move to the next stitch. Next stitch here. Next stitch here, and then next stitch here, and then next stitch here, and next stitch here. Next stitch here, and next stitch here. And then next stitch here, and next stitch here. As you can see, when I insert my needle, I just go a little bit of that stitch. My needle don't go through the right side. See, that's what we want. Okay, make sure that your needle don't go through outside like that. It's not look good. Next stitch here, next stitch here. I'm just gonna keep sewing back and forth around this pocket, and I will be back when I reach the end here where I start sewing. And please take your time, you don't have to rush, and yeah, take your time. I will be back. Make sure it's nice and even. Good luck. Okay, now I sew the pocket around already, and I reach the end here, and then next I just gonna hide the tail, and I'm pretty sure you know how to do that. So yeah, just hiding the tail. Okay, make sure it's secure, and then you trim the tail, and you're done with the pocket. Okay, I'm not gonna show you how to do that because I think you know how to do it. And we're done with sewing all the pieces together, and then next we're gonna crochet around the edges, around the pocket edges, and then around the front edges here. And to do that, you need to turn your sweater right side out, and then I will be back. Okay, next we're gonna crochet around the pocket edges here, and you also can leave it like this. You don't have to crochet around it if you like, but I'm gonna make a slip stitch around the pocket edges. I already make one side here. Here's what it looks like after I slip stitch around. That's what I like. And again, you don't have to do it. You just leave it like this. Totally up to you. So yeah, I already make one side here, and I'm gonna show you how to do on this side. It's very easy. Just slip stitch around. Okay, so yeah, this is my right side out. Okay, the sweater. I'm gonna insert the hook into this corner, and then bring the new yarn, and then yarn over hook with the new yarn, pull up a loop, and chain one. Okay, and then into the next stitch, I'm gonna make slip stitch. So I insert the hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and pull it through. I'm gonna make it pretty tight, and then insert the hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and pull it through. Just make a slip stitch into each stitch around. So yeah, just repeat that. I insert the hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop and pull it through, insert the hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop and pull it through, insert the hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop and pull it through, insert the hook into the next, pull up a loop and pull it through. Just make slip stitch. Oops. Okay, like that. Here's what it looks like so far. Okay, I'm just gonna keep doing that around. So when I reach the corner, I just wanna show you, I just gonna keep doing the same. Slip stitch into each stitch. I also gonna crochet into this corner as well. I turn a little bit. Next stitch here, and then next stitch there, like that. Oops, sorry. Here we go. Okay, here's what it looks like. See? Yeah, just keep doing that around, and I will be back when I reach the end here. Okay, now I crochet around my pocket edge here, and then I reach the end, and then next I just gonna cut the yarn, and then I pull the yarn out, and I bring my yarn needle, insert that tail into my yarn needle, and just gonna hide the tail. So to hide the tail, I gonna skip the next stitch here. I insert the hook into the next, insert the needle into the next stitch. Both look like that. Okay, I skip one here, and then I bring it out, and then I insert back to the last stitch where the tail come from, right here, right into the middle, right here. Okay, and bring it inside. See, we just create a new stitch. That's why we skip one stitch. And then I just gonna hide the tail inside. So let me show you. As you can see here, you don't see at all where I start, where I end. It's very beautiful way, my favorite way to finish my crochet project. Yeah, that's it. And then I just gonna weave all the end inside the pocket. And I'm done with the pocket edges, because I already make this side. And yeah, you need to make both sides exactly the same. Okay, next we're gonna crochet around the collar here. Okay, I'm gonna show you in the paper here real quick so you see what's going on. So yeah, we're gonna add a new yarn right into the right front corner right here, and then we're gonna crochet all the way up, and then go around the neck area, and then come back down to the left front panel all the way down until we reach the left front corner here. And then after that, we're gonna crochet back up, and then go around the neck area, and then come back down to the right front corner. And then after that, we're gonna crochet one more row. So 3 rows total. So go all back up, go around the neck area, go back down to the left front panel, and then at the end cut the yarn and weave the end. That's it. I'm gonna do total of 3 rows, so back and forth 3 rows. And if you want more than 3 rows, feel free to do that. And if you want less row, just 1 row or 2 rows, totally up to you. And if you wanna leave it like this, you can do that as well, totally up to you. And yeah, I'm just gonna make 3 rows. Okay, so here is my right front panel. This is the right side facing up. Okay, I bring my new yarn, and then insert my hook into the right front corner here, right there, and then yarn over hook, and then pull up a loop and chain 1, and then I'm just gonna make a single crochet. Okay, and this is difficult to see these stitches, so be careful. You just kind of guess where you're gonna insert your hook into, but remember I make my panel 67 rows, so I should have 67 rows on this panel, and then 67 rows on this panel, and then 8 stitches on the neck area that I leave it open. Okay, and if you don't have exact number, it's totally fine. I just wanna show you how I think about it. Okay, so yeah, I insert the hook into next stitch here, and then pull up a loop. Oops, sorry. Okay, and then yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. That is the single crochet, and then single crochet into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. Just keep doing that. So next stitch here, insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops, and then insert the hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops, and then next stitch here, just make single crochet. Next stitch here, just take your time. Okay, like I said, it's difficult to see the normal stitches. Just take your time, no rush. And then next stitch here, and then next stitch here, like that. Okay, let me point out for you here real quick. So my next stitch gonna be this one, and then next stitch gonna be this one, 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 next stitch here, next stitch here, and next stitch here. Alright, and like I said, if you don't have exact same number, it's totally fine. It's just crochet around the edges, so don't worry, don't stress out. Okay, alright, I'm gonna keep crochet, single crochet all the way up, and I'm gonna go around the neck area as well, and I will meet you guys back in when I reach the neck area. I want to show you how I do it, and I'm pretty sure you know how to do that already, but I just want to show you anyway. Okay, I will be back. Okay, now I'm at the neck area here. Into the shoulder seam here, I also gonna crochet in there, so I gonna crochet 2 stitches in each corner for the shoulder seam because I don't want to have a big hole. Okay, so here's the shoulder seam. I insert the hook into that stitch, pull up a loop, and make single crochet. Right here as well, this is still the shoulder seam. Okay, make single crochet. That's it. And then after that, I'm gonna keep crochet into each stitch around the neck area, and then when I add the shoulder seam here into that corner, I also gonna crochet 2 stitches in there. I'll show you. Just single crochet. The neck area easy to see because it's normal stitches. That's why I crochet pretty fast. Okay, now I reach the corner here, and then I'm gonna crochet 1 single crochet into that corner right here, this stitch first, and then next stitch here. That is the shoulder seam. So yeah, I just pick up 2 stitches, and then after that I'm gonna keep crochet into each stitch all the way back down till I reach the left corner here. Okay, show you a few more stitches. So next stitch should be this one, and then next stitch should be this one, and then next stitch this one, and then next stitch this one. Sometimes it's difficult to insert the hook into, you just need to take your time. Next stitch here, and then next stitch here, like that. Okay, here's what this looks like so far. See, we just crochet around this neck area here, and then we go back down to the left front panel, and then I'm gonna keep crochet, single crochet into each stitch until I reach the left front corner at the bottom, and then I will be back. Good luck and take your time. Okay, now I reach the end here, which is the left front panel at the corner here. Okay, and I have a total of 146 single crochet around the collar, and if you have less or more or not exact same number with your written pattern your side, totally fine. Okay, don't shred out. Okay, so yeah, I have 146 single crochet around, and for row 2 I'm gonna chain 1 and turn and make single crochet into each stitch around. You're gonna keep going up all the way around the neck area and come back down to the to the right front panel at the corner here. Okay, so after I chain 1 and turn, I make single crochet into the first stitch here, and then single crochet into the next stitch, and then single crochet into the next stitch. It's very easy now because we see the normal stitches. Yeah, so single crochet into the next, single crochet into the next, single crochet into the next, like that. Okay, and yeah, just keep making 1 single crochet into each stitch until you reach the right front corner here. Okay, and then I will be back, and at the end here, the right front corner, I should have the same amount of these stitches, which is 146 stitches, because I'm not gonna increase or decrease. All right, I will be back. Okay, now I'm at the end here, which is the right front corner, and I have the same 146 stitches, and then for row 3 gonna be the final row. I gonna repeat row 2. Very easy. So I just gonna chain 1 and turn. Just repeat row 2. We're just gonna make 1 single crochet into each stitch around until we reach the left front corner. So after I chain 1 and turn, I make single crochet into the first stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the next, single crochet into the next. Okay, just repeating row 2. Easy. Alright, I'm gonna make 1 single crochet into each stitch until I reach the left front corner here, and then I should have the same amount of these stitches, which is 146 stitches, and then I will be back when I reach the end here. Okay, now I'm at the end here, which is the left front corner, and then next I just gonna cut the yarn and weave the end. And like I said, if you want bigger than this, the color, feel free to add more rows, just repeating row 2. And yeah, for me 3 rows is perfect. That's what I like. And then yeah, I'm gonna cut the yarn, leave a little bit of tail, just enough to weaving the end, and then I pull the yarn out and hide the tail. And I'm pretty sure you know how to hide the tail, so I'm not gonna show you. Alright, and that's it, we're done. It's very nice. Sorry, it's very big project, I cannot show you the whole thing, but you can see in the picture, right? And yeah, here's what it looks like. Here's the pocket. It's very nice. Here the neck area, and here the sleeve, very big. Here the other side of the sleeve. And yeah, congratulations, you just make a very beautiful sweater here. If you like this video and enjoy making this project, please give this video a thumb up and share this video with your friends. and I would love to see everyone's work. If you want to share with me, please share and text me on Facebook or Instagram or send me a message. I would love to see it. Alright, thank you so much for watching and stay warm. I will see you next video. Bye bye.